So we're keeping with the theme of Unibroue this month, and we're gonna try les Trois Pistoles. Another beer from Unibroue. We've already done Le Fin du Monde, which is probably their most popular export that they send out throughout North America and worldwide. This one is a little less common. It's a little less popular than Le Fin du Monde. It's a little bolder, it's a little darker, it's a little fruitier. I don't think Alessandro has tried this one, if I'm correct.
Nope, never.
This is great. I always love when we review a beer that either I or Alessandro haven't tried yet, because then you just get our honest, pure reaction on video. Sandra, you know about the town of Trois Pistoles, right? And why it's called that?
Yeah, I was researching it a little bit because I thought it was a particular name. And apparently there's a legend behind the name too. So legend says that a soldier had bought a goblet, probably for drinking beer. He actually bought it with 3 coins that at the time were called pistoles. So 3 coins. Then he gets on his little boat to cross the river, and the goblet accidentally falls into the river. Probably again because he had like a few beers. Maybe, we don't know, we're not sure. But obviously the goblet falls into the river, and he starts like screaming and saying, "Oh, my 3 pistoles, my 3 coins, I just bought it." So apparently after that, they decided to name the town like Trois Pistoles.
Unibroue just has such cool label artwork. Every beer is branded so uniquely. The artwork on them are just fantastic. And on this one in particular, there is a church with 3 spires there and a black horse with wings flying through the fiery sky.
Trois Pistoles pays tribute to a legend about a mysterious black horse sent by the devil himself to help the villagers build their church.
And the story behind that one is actually really cool. So Trois Pistoles is a town in Quebec. Unibroue, of course, being based out of Chambly, Quebec, Canada. And in Trois Pistoles, the story is that they were building this church, and one of the workers had his big black horse that they were using to transport materials to the church and back. And when they took the protective guard off the horse and unleashed it, it took off into the wind. And religious superstition at the time said it must be the devil. Church was never completed, and to this day, there's 1 brick missing at the top. And that is the legend of the Black Devil horse. So cool. I love it. So much lore and story behind this beer. I like my beers with some good stories and legends behind them. It just makes the whole experience more interesting.
It gets you excited. So now, like, you know, I haven't tried it, so I really have been waiting the whole afternoon. Like, I can't wait to try it and see. I read a little bit about it. Tasting experience is what really matters.
Should we get right into it? Should we crack these open?
I can't wait, my friend. Let's just have a sip. I've been waiting the whole afternoon, so let's get right into it.
Me too. I've had this one maybe once or twice in my life. Look at that color. Look at that dark brown. This is so different from the Fin du Monde. Oh, wow. Okay, let's get right into the aroma. I don't want to wait too long. I don't want any of these beautiful aromatic fumes to dissipate. Go right into it. Tell me, what do you think?
Wow, this is incredible. Like, you get those like dark fruit notes, like prune, raisins. But for me, it's more like if you had taken those fruits and you had soaked them into rum, like a spiced rum.
Yes.
That's amazing. Like, I love the smell. That's quite inviting. Like, it's round and it's sweet, a little bit of like brown sugar almost. Like, it's close to great, but I think that I'm gonna stick with a 2 for this one. It's really, really, really nice. Like, it really inviting. 2 for me on this.
So on their website, or I've read online, a lot of people compare this to port wine in the sense that it's really dark, really fruity. That aroma is amazing. Like you said, You get the prunes, you get the dark fruit. There's a little bit of nuttiness that I'm getting there as well, but it's really just the dark fruit. It's almost like you're sniffing a really, really deep red Cabernet. I'm getting the same aromas out of it. And I think port is a really good comparison too. Just that dark prune, the raisin, it's a little bit of dark chocolate as well. This is right up my alley. This is getting a 3-on-3 for me for aroma. I can't think of anything better. Like I can't think of a reason for why this wouldn't deserve a 3-on-3. It's very unique. I can't think of the last time I smelled a beer like this where the prunes and the raisins and the dark chocolate were so straightforward like that and were so present. I know you've been waiting all day for this. Long time. Let's go right into the taste. Please, sir, you go first. Take a little sip. Let me know what you think. Oh,
yeah. That was worth waiting.
I know, right? Isn't that good?
That's very nice. So I get that initial sweetness, that dry, slightly acidic character on the side. The palate, like you do get a little bit of bitterness, but it's really just there to balance out the other elements. And you have that strong, like savory character, dark, rich, and obviously part of the retronasal experience, like from getting that, you get that rum and prunes coming back. While on the nose, I was like a little bit on the fancier on the palate, and adding a little bit of that like retronasal. I'm gonna go great here. This is awesome. Yeah, it was totally worth waiting.
You know what this reminds me of? And this is a little bit of a personal anecdote between the two of us. That one time when you were showing me around Torino in Italy, and we went into that rum bar, and they had little dishes of chocolate out on the table to have with your rum that you would order.
Yes.
That was my first and only time ever going to a rum bar. But that mix of flavor with the chocolate and the rum, that's what this is reminding me of. The chocolate, I got little hints of it in the aroma. In the taste, the chocolate is so prevalent for me. Combined with the dark fruit, that is just incredible. The alcohol isn't overly present. It's not overly bitter on your tongue. It doesn't taste unbalanced in any way, shape, or form.
No.
You know, in the Fins du Monde review, I mentioned how it's a great beer, but it's not my favorite beer of theirs. So I was surprised how that's their most popular. Do you see why it's not my favorite beer of theirs? They have so many others that fly under the radar that people don't talk about. And I mean, you were able to find this one down in Florida, so it's not like it's not exported and it's hard to find. But most people don't know Trois Pistoles, but they know La Fins du Monde if you mention it. This one is. And La Fins du Monde's a great beer. But oh my God, is this good, right? This is like the perfect example for me of what Unibroue can do. The White Whale is the ultimate example of what Unibroue can do. But this is a fantastic example of what Unibroue can do. It's 3-on-3 for me. You know, I wasn't expecting this to give 2 3s right off the bat, but taste is 3-on-3 for me as well. I am impressed. I am very impressed so far.
I think everything you said is perfect. The rum, dark chocolate comes through like at the end, like aroma part of your tasting experience. And I agree with you. While the Fins du Monde, in my opinion, on the palate already, you could taste a little bit of that unbalance with the alcohol, where the alcohol was a little bit more present. Here, the beer is 9%. You can absolutely not tell it's 9%.
It's the same alcohol percentage.
Exactly, and you can tell that it's a heavier beer. You can get a little bit of that burn of the alcohol. Like, it's not the burn, like it warms you from the inside, which is beautiful. But that's it. It tastes smooth, easy, just very, very drinkable. And so absolutely deserves a 3, which brings me into the mouthfeel section. Now on the mouthfeel, I'll say, if I'm comparing this to the San Bernardus, which is, you can make that comparison, the ABT 12, because they are roughly in the same category. This is not technically a quad, it's called like a strong Belgian dark ale. So it can be comparable. I would say that I do prefer the San Bernardus mouthfeel. It's not as carbonated. It's still delicious. It's a great beer, but I'm going to go with the 2 on that. Just again, like thinking about, I'm reserving the 3s for just like my absolute favorite.
I agree with you. I think I don't want to make too many comparisons to St. Bernardus beers. I'm wearing one of their shirts. I seem like a St. Bernardus fanboy. A lot of our inspiration for starting this channel were St. Bernardus beers. That was one of the main beers that we bonded over our friendship. And it's just one of the beers for me that sort of took my appreciation of what beer could be to another level, specifically the ABT 12, which is why we're talking about it all the time. It's a good comparison to make, the two of them. I find there are some similar, they're not the same by any stretch of the imagination, but there's some similarities in the taste and the aroma. The mouthfeel, it's much less carbonated, right? And for me, the ABT 12 had all the aroma and taste elements, but it had that carbonation, so the mouthfeel was just a 3-on-3 for me as well. This is much less carbonated, so the mouthfeel is very subtle. There isn't a lot of bitterness. There isn't the alcohol that takes over. There's a slight carbonation. You know, if you're gonna like rate it, let's say on 10 on a carbonation level, this is maybe a 6 or a 7, right? It's just a little bit more than average if you say 5 is average. It's fantastic. It's not quite a 3, but it's really good. It's a very good 2-on-3 for me. Pushing 3, but not quite. But a very good 2-on-3.
I like that, my friend. Very good 2-on-3. I agree with you on that.
So what do you think about the finish?
So the finish is actually bringing me back to the tasting part. You get all the best elements off the nose, which again, like I was leaning towards a 3. Let's not forget that. But I think that the finish is where those elements that, in my opinion, were missing a little bit, they're coming back and really showing strong. So you get that rum, that chocolate, dark chocolate combined perfectly with the prunes and the raisins, and you have that like lingering, just slightly bit of hops present that is very refreshing. So finish, absolutely delicious. I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 3 for me.
This is amazing. For such an understated Unibroue beer that nobody talks about, this is kind of hitting it out of the park with both of us. I have to agree with you on the finish. One of the reasons why La Fin du Monde wasn't really up there and on the finish for either of us was that alcohol. That taste of alcohol that was there, that lingered, you could tell it was 9%. And kept saying unbalanced during the Fin du Monde review. I just felt it was unbalanced. This is so perfectly balanced. It's the same alcohol percentage as Fin du Monde, but you don't taste it. This could easily be a 6 or 7% beer, and you wouldn't know the difference. Carbonation just sort of dissipates the aftertaste really quickly. You're left with, let me take one more sip just to freshen the memory a little bit.
To make sure, we want to give them, good review.
We're thorough here at Beer Brackets. We gotta be accurate. We gotta make sure that everything is fresh in our minds. One more.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. The chocolate and the prunes, raisin, dark fruit, they linger on the finish for a second or two and then they're gone. Just like my favorite finishes that I've described on this channel so far, it goes back to the ABT 12. It's very similar in that way. It's getting a 3 for me as well. So also for me, it's been 3-3-2-3. There's only that 1-2 that makes it a non-perfect. So let's go to overall. I'm really curious about this for you.
So I was thinking I gave it a 2 for the, so 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah. It's bouncing on and off. Overall, I've taken a couple more sips. I filled the glass again just to make sure, as I always do. But yeah, I mean, it's this deserves a 3 in my opinion. Overall, it is a beer that I would definitely get again. That I love. That I think has like all the elements and different elements that I've never had in beers, similar beers. So it's checking the boxes for me there.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I really, really wasn't. You know what, for me, as an overall, even though I've given it mostly 3s along the way, for me personally, I need to reserve that 3-on-3 overall for just what in my mind is a perfect beer. This is close to it. This is a 2.899999 on 3 for me. But that still rounds down and bumps it down to a 2. It's not quite there for the 3. It has all these incredible elements. The aroma is incredible. The taste elements are incredible. The mouthfeel could be a little bit more there, but still very good. Still 2-on-3. The finish is wonderful. So just because it can't really get that extra little small percentile up to the 3, it's going to be a 2 on 3 for me. But oh my God, is this a great beer. All right, so tallying up our scores, for me, that comes out to a 4.33 on 5, which is extremely good in our rating system. That comes out to an outstanding beer. Let's see for Alessandro what his scores tally up to is 4.33 as well. He got there in a different way, but it came out to the exact same score. That's so funny. I thought yours was going to wind up being a little bit higher with you giving it the 3 on 3 overall at the end, but turns out we have pretty much the same overall feeling about this beer.
But see, I think that this proves also how the rating system kind of catches like things in a different way. Because for me, at the beginning, the Aroma, the first impression was a little bit lower, but after the whole experience, I kind of like moved that up a little bit. While you were like initially maybe a little bit more leaning towards the great, and towards the end you said, yeah, okay, but it's not there. But and we ended up kind of being in the same spot overall, like, which is quite funny.
Unibroue is very, very, very dear to my heart. I grew up with their beers growing up in Quebec. I love so many of them. I'm so happy that I got the taste at least La Fin du Monde with you so far, as well as Trois Pistoles. There's more that we want to do down the line, so there's more coming. Don't worry about that. I know I had some people message me asking to do some other ones of theirs. We will get to them eventually. This kind of concludes our stretch of 2 reviews on Unibroue for now. We'll be revisiting them, but oh my God, do they do great stuff.
Joe, don't forget something very important. You mentioned this is the end of the stretch of 2.
Yeah.
But we haven't given up. We are still looking for the white whale.
I wasn't going to mention it because I don't want to jinx it, man, but we're still looking. We're still looking. Kind of talked about this a little bit during our St. Bernard's flight episode. They're playing with us. They're trying to hide it from us. They keep rebranding it. It's not available. It's available. It's not available. It's available. We're going to find it. If it's out there, we are going to find it. And we are going to bring the white whale to you. And we are going to review it. And we are going to conquer our white whale. Guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to open and close your Unibroue beer brackets. Drink along with us. Crack a Trois Pistoles. Watch the review. See what you think about the aroma. See what you think about the taste. See if it lines up with us. Let us know what you think down below. Comment. Subscribe if you want to check out our other videos. We'll see you soon. Take care, guys.